What's up, Tech Heart? We're still loving Hyprland, right? And we want to look at more setups or environments for Hyprland? Well, I think we're going to want to check out HyDE. It's the HyPerland Development Environment. It's an aesthetic, modular, and XDG compliant development environment for Hyprland on Arch Linux. Let's go, man. Let's dive in and learn all about HyDE. We're going to switch right on over here and let's dig in. What we'll need is a very vanilla Arch Linux installation. So I'll download the Arch Linux ISO and you'll see me install it. But after that, we're going to have to install HyDE. And there's documentation here, and it tells you exactly how to do so. We'll have to use Pacman, and we'll install git and base devel, and then we're going to git clone the HyDE project's GitHub page. And then there's an install script. Down below, it talks about package_user.list that installs extra packages. And then right here, if we copy scripts/package extra to package user, we would install all of the extras. And that's what we'll do for this video. But first, let's check out their GitHub page. Here's the HyDE project and the HyDE environment, to be specific. And yeah, we can take a little preview here.
Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never ran, said no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
So, what did we think? That looks pretty fresh to me. Shall we get started? I think so. Let me get booted in where I'll install Arch. I'm going to boot from the Arch ISO and I'll meet you right back here. Okay, once we're booted into the Arch installer, I'm going to need internet access. If you're connected over Ethernet, you won't have to do this. However, I'll run an IWCTL and I'll give it my Wi-Fi's passphrase. And then I'll say station, which I know is WLAN 0. I should have showed you how to find that. And I'll do a connect on my SSD. Okay. Let me just show you. You could have ran the ifconfig, and you'll see right there that my Wi-Fi card is WLAN 0. So you'd find yours. And after you're connected, you could just do a ping 8.8.8.8, and you can see we're connected, baby. Ready to go. Now, all that HyDE needs is a very basic Arch install, so I'm going to use the Arch install script. We can just boot that puppy up. And then check this out. It's super easy. Make sure your locales are okay. I'm going to select mirrors closer to me. So I'll go to the United States. And then to disk configuration, we'll select partitioning, and we'll use a best effort default partition layout. Make sure you select your right disk, and for me, that's the 237 gigabit one. And I'm going to use ext4. I do not want a separate partition for home, and Bob's your uncle, baby. If you want disk encryption, you can enable it here, but I'm just going to roll with it. We're fine for swap, and bootloader I want grub, so I'll select that. Kernels I'm okay with Linux. Host name is fine by me. Authentication, let's get a root password. It's certainly not TechHeart. And then we can add a user account. And we'll make it a super user. We can confirm and exit. Boom. And go back. Now for the profile, we'll select type and minimal, because we want minimal. And we'll go back. We don't have to install any applications. And for network configuration, I'll just copy the ISO network We're still going to have to run IWCTL, but that's okay. We'll copy the ISO network configuration and no additional packages. Just select your time zone and let's go. We'll select install and I'll catch you in about 2 minutes and 30 or with the video editing right now. Check that out. In just 2 minutes and 27 seconds, we have Arch installed. Let's reboot the system and I'll meet you in Arch Linux. Here we are. We can get logged in with our user and password. And if we test the internet with ping 8.8.8.8, we're not connected. So to connect to the internet, I'll do an IWCTL, and I'll do -- passphrase. I'll do station WLAN 0, connect to my Wi-Fi SSID. Okay. In just a minute, we should be pinging the internet. And there we are. Let's go. If we switch back over to the HyDE installation page, we can see we need to install Git and base devel. Let's do that real quick. Nicely done. And checking that install script, we're going to run this git command over here. And we can do that with git clone --depth1 on https://hyde.com/hyde-project HyDE. And we're going to put that in HyDE. Let's get that thing cloned. Okay, and once that's done, we can just run the install script. However, I wanted to do this little trick down here. I want to copy package_extra to package_user. So I'll move into that HyDE directory, scripts, and I'm going to copy package_extra to package_user.lst. Now I'll run that install script, but I'll point it to package_user.list just so we get all of the extras. We want everything. I'm going to go with a dark theme. Then it says, would you like to install the chaotic AUR? And I'll select yes. It's a little bit off screen for you guys, but it's coming. You can see it right there. The next question, you can't see it, but it asks what AUR helper, and I'm going to select Peru because that's the one I like. And it says ZSH or fish, and I'm going to select ZSH. And you'll see those populate right now. There's where it was asking for the helpers and ZSH. I'll select the default for cargo, and I'll say proceed with installation. Those were just running a little bit off screen. Sorry. And let that puppy ride out. Okay, just off screen when that finished, it wants to install some more things, so I'm going to select yes, and then you'll see that come on screen, and here we go. This is all the HyDE installation script, and we're getting all that theming and extras on our Hyprland system. Baby! You can see all the various helpers there. SWWW, Waybar, Rofi, Dunst, Hyperlock, WLogout, Grim, Hyperpicker, Slurp. All the good stuff with no setup, sucker. There's another selection just off screen. Default to Polkit, or we can use the one in the chaotic. I'm just going to go with the default here, here, and here. Then it asks about NVIDIA for your Vulkan driver. If you have an NVIDIA card, you'll have to make certain selections, but for me, the default will be fine. And then we'll proceed with installation, and we're going to the races again. Another default down here, and again with the default, and let's install more packages. We'll say yes, and again, off to the races, baby. Okay, and after the post-install, it asks one more thing about SDDM. You can pick candy or corners, and I'm going to select candy, and I'll say yes to installing ZSH. It also asks, do I want to install the extra flat packs, and I say yes. These are all those extras, I believe, that we added to package_user. Let's go install some flat packs. This system is going to have a lot of software, theming, helper apps, and more. And after all the flat packs, it installs services, and then it prompts us to reboot the system. I'll say yes, even though that's off screen for you, and hopefully I'll meet you right back here. Let's go. Here we go, we've got our nice grub set up. Cool. Arch Linux. And here we are in HyDE, or SDDM. We can get logged in. And Bob's your uncle, baby. However, I already see an issue. We'll get onto Wi-Fi real quick. and we can check out our issue. I see a config error in localsharehyperdynamic.conf at line 52. It seems like HyDE did not enter the font sizes correctly. It's a date up here, 2026. And I've seen this error before. So, in order to fix it, we'll open up a terminal with super T, and we'll move into HyDE directory, and we're going to do a git pull, and then we'll run an scripts install.sh-r. This will update all the themes and hopefully reset those variables so we have no errors. It wants us to reboot, but I'm going to say no, and I'm going to run a HyDE shell reload. Notice the config errors are gone. I'm going to give the system a reboot, and I'll meet you back here, and we'll inspect HyDE. All right, so we're in HyDE. Let's take a peek around. At the top, from the left, we have different CPU usage stuff, and we can tap it and get different output. I believe this is memory used, and then, yeah, percent of memory used. We get information if we hold the mouse there. On our time, we can click that and get the date, a little calendar drop-down. Over here, this is our workspaces. Over here's our battery, I believe. No, backlight level. And our Wi-Fi information. Our volume, and that's controlled by our volume buttons, and there's the little animation that it gets. Spiffy. We have our mic. And actually, I think there's one update. This is where updates are. I'm going to click this. And yeah, I think it brings up the updater. Is that using Peru or... At any rate, there's one update, so I'll apply it. When it's done, it closes, and the update goes away. Spiffy. Over here, there's an icon for keybinds. And if I click it, I get all of our keybinds. Now, these can be different from other Hyprland setups. Like to close a window, it's super Q. Super delete kills the Hyprland session, and so on and so forth. So you can pull up your keybinds right here, nice and simple, and they're all listed for us. Sweet. This little icon is UDisky, and it will enable auto mounting, like for USB sticks and other stuff, your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth, and your battery. Clicking it gets rid of the 100%, or you can have that. Now over here, we can switch wallpapers, and you can just click it, and it'll switch to various wallpapers. Like so. Then for themes, you can just click and it'll switch to a different theme. It'll change the color of your bar and all that stuff. It'll change the entire theme. That's pretty spiffy. On the third, we can switch bar to dock. And I don't know that makes much change, but yeah, it changes it from a bar to a dock. I think I like the other one better. Yeah, they're both similar. Over here's our clipboard history. And if we right click on the next icon, we can actually go down for all of those things, animations, wallpapers, themes, and etc., and we can actually select a theme. So we can go in here, and we can cycle through all the various themes that we have, and pick one. I think I'll go with DK Green. Is that a darker theme? Yeah, it's fine. How's that for the capture? Does it look good? Yeah, we'll go with it. And again, within this theme, we can switch to different wallpapers, and they're all like, themed to this theme. So that's pretty awesome. Jumping back into that drop-down, we have shaders, animations. I don't know what this does. Animations. We can go with the theme preference, or there's several animations you can select from. Let me go with the theme preference, and I think that'll be our various animations that open up. Let's take a look at some of the applications. I believe it's Super A. And yeah, it pops up this whole big thing. We have our applications here. You can go to your files. I believe this will be clipboard later. And terminal applications, I believe. But if we just go to the installed applications, let's take a look. There's an archive manager, Blender, boxes for VMs, Clapper CMake, Virtual Code Studio, Dolphin for a file browser, and Firefox. I prefer Brave. We have GIMP, a USB creator, Inkscape, Kitty, Krita, Kvantum Manager, and all sorts of stuff. OBS, Rofi, Spotify, Steam, video downloader, Vim, and so on and so forth. Pretty cool. They use webcord for Discord. This is pretty fancy. What does everybody think? We already saw this, but if I click the power button, we get this really cool W logout menu. That's fancy. We can open up a terminal and take a look at different HyDE stuff. Inside of HyDE, there is a configs folder, and inside there's a .config. And this is the HyDE configuration. Now, I know that we can still go into .config/hyper. If I open up a browser, and I go find that HyDE documentation, and in the main configuration for HyDE, it says HyDE exposes xdg/hyper/config.toml. I believe that'll be in config/HyDE. And yeah, we can bring up that file. And there's various different settings we can go through and learn about and change the actual HyDE setup or configuration. For Hyprland, we go to config.hyper like normal. And yeah, that's where we do edit all of our Hyprland configuration. Anything that we set in that config.toml that we just looked at will override Hyprland. For various user configurations, it's in that hyper folder. We can go take a look at that. We have key bindings, window rules, monitors, etc., etc. Here's all of our user preferences, and you can change your workspace swipe from 3 to 4 if you so cared to do so. But for all of your configuration, you'd want to check the HyDE documentation. And it talks about Waybar and other things. What do you guys think? Are you so far impressed with HyDE, the HyPerland Development Environment? I think it's pretty cool. Does it hold a candle to Omarchy? You'll have to let me know down in the comments. What should I modify on this system? Should I make another video diving deeper into the HyDE configuration? And what do y'all want to see? For what I think, it's pretty fancy. I like all the various themes. We get a little more than Omarchy in that department, in my opinion. And it's nice. Are you guys going to take HyDE for a test spin? Or are you just going to push shut down? Tech Heart out!
Go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit.